Hello, welcome back to our online discussion in PE1, Physical Fitness. So in this lesson, I'm going to discuss about the kickball and baseball. But before that, we will discuss about the physical activities in terms of sports. So participating in the various physical activities such as sports helps us to become stronger and more active. Okay. So it is important as a person that we need also to engage in sports. So it makes our body stronger and it will become more active. Also, the sports can help our body to be healthy and also fit. Okay? So it is very important that as a person we need to engage in sports. There's a lot of benefits, especially in our health, in our body, if we will engage in sports. Also, the sports can improve the capabilities and the skills of a person who is into a particular sports that they excel in. Engaging in sports will not just make our body healthy, active, but very important also that the engaging in sports can improve our capabilities and skills. So we will excel in the specific sports that we are good at. So some people they are good in basketball, table tennis, baseball, and etc. So by doing or engaging in sports, in playing the specific sports, it will also improve our capabilities and skills. So the sports is the motion of the body that brings sweat and bodily exhaustion. So if we will engage in sports, our body will not just become fit, but also the toxic within our body will come out by sweating. So it's very important that we need to engage in sports. So among the sports are striking, just like this one, and fielding games such as kickball and baseball. This one is the example of kickball and baseball. So the lesson striking and fielding games are performed among the field group and the batting group to attain greater runs than the other group with the number of innings and time allowed. So I'll just emphasize that the kickball, this is not a soccer game. It is a difference with the soccer. Okay, so it is more like a baseball or softball about the word kickball. Okay, so at the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the nature and also the background of the games and describe the skills involved in the games. So now in this lecture, we need to focus on the kickball and the baseball. So what games can you see in the picture? Have you ever played those games, these games, kickball? Or have you been played the baseball? Why or what are the benefits for you? What are the benefits that you have gained in playing this kind of games? I do believe that you are already familiar with the baseball, but I think some of you are not familiar yet with the kickball games. So we will discuss that later on. So we'll start with the kickball. So the game is similar, okay? The game is similar to baseball. So again, the kickball game is not a soccer game. So the kickball game is similar to the baseball and the softball. So its aim is for the runner to kick the ball and then run to the bases to reach the home plate and score points. Just like with the baseball, they will throw the ball and then they will kick. Okay, instead of batting with the use of bat, they will use their legs or feet in kicking the ball, and they will run to the bases to reach the home plate. However, the ball used is in kickball is much bigger, so it is rolled towards the home plate and kicked by the runner instead of using a bat. Okay, instead of using a bat, the player will use his or her legs or feet in kicking the ball, and then the player will run to the bases until he or she will reach the home plate, just like with the baseball and softball. Now we will discuss about the baseball. So the game is played between two teams with 9 players each. I do believe that you are already familiar with this game, baseball. During intramurals and squaw meet, there is a baseball game. So the objective is for a team to score more runs than the opponent. Okay? So the offensive team's objective is to have its batter become a runner and its runner advance to touch all the bases and score a run. So the defensive team's objective is to prevent the offensive players from becoming runners and advance on all bases. So to summarize, the sports is very important that we need to engage with. We should not spend a lot of time, just like we have discussed in a previous lesson. We need to engage in sports, in physical activities, not just spending a lot of time in the internet, in the phones, in the laptops, or in any gadgets. So we need to engage in sports because there's a lot of benefits that we can have of engaging sports. It can fit our body. It will make our body active. We are sweating. And then we have an engagement or social time with our friends or our classmates. So for your learning task for this lesson, you need to copy and fill out the chart about the striking and fielding games. So write about what you know and what you want to know and how you can learn more about the or the kickball. And what you learn after taking this lesson, do it on your answer sheet. So you need to get one sheet of pen paper. You need to copy this table. And then again, we have discussed about the baseball and the kickball. What you know about the baseball before I discuss this topic. So you need to write in this part what you know about the baseball and what you know about the kickball and what you find out after I discuss this topic. You need to write it down for the baseball. You need to also to write it down in the kickball. And I what can I learn more? So you need to enumerate in this part what are the things that you want to learn more. And then in the last part, what you have learned. So after I discuss this topic, you need to write down all the learnings that you got after the discussion. So that is for learning task number 1. And we also have learning task 2 that you need to comply as well. So the instruction, give the similarities and differences between baseball and the kickball using the Venn diagram. So this is the example of a Venn diagram. You need also to get another sheet of bond paper, and then you need to differentiate and you need to write the difference and the similarities between the kickball and the baseball. Okay. So in this part, as you can observe there are 2 circles here. in this part, write down what is the kickball or difference between kickball and baseball. Same in this part, you need to write it down. And then in the middle, you need to write down the similarities of the kickball and the baseball. Again, the differences you need to write in the left side for the kickball and the right side for baseball. And then at the center, you need to write down the similarities between the kickball and baseball. Okay? Again, for example, questions, what are the similarities and differences between the baseball and the kickball? Baseball and the kickball. And in what particular aspect do these games have in common? So what I've said earlier, that you need to write down the similarities or the common between the baseball and the kickball. So this is the end of our lecture, and then don't forget to submit in our Google Classroom. If you have any other questions, don't forget to message me in the group chat. Bye-bye.